Hi Capricorn. I was just shuffling your cards and the energy was just very stuck and stagnant. I was thinking of forming new structures and a lot of moon energy came out, and the cards that I really like shuffling are hard to shuffle and they didn't even come together, so I shuffled into nothingness. And I don't know if I'm even going to post this, but this is a reading for Sun in Capricorn or a rising in Capricorn. But there is a lot of chaotic energy in your space. You're trying to focus on what's important to you and to heal certain father and mother wounds, because I was crying yesterday for myself and I was transmuting some of your energy as well, Capricorn, and it was quite heavy. It was like a lot of self-realizations, and even though this is a timeless message, what affected me was also the transit, of Sun in Aries to Sun in Taurus. And there's a lot of expression that wants to come up, but I got kind of like a knot in my throat where I had to swallow it back down, but it didn't come up, not even remotely for me to spit it out. So what I get from this is there's a clearing going on, but there's certain things that you have to suppress within your emotional body. And so I laid out cards, kind of like a pre-reading. I didn't know I wanted to put on a really golden coat that I got. It's still hanging here, but the energy is a bit more that of nakedness, right? Because Capricorn, your energy is that of Saturn, right? Your ruling planet is, Big Daddy, Saturn. And it's really about imposing those self-restrictions and imposing certain restrictions on other people that makes you kind of this, pushing your head through the wall type. Whereas you need a lot of rest and relaxation. I keep getting Nine of Wands, which is a lot of intrusive thoughts and a lot of that warrior energy where this is the last stretch, this is the last heartbreak, this is the last time where you are still playing in that energy of a broken child, and you're shifting this energy into that maternal or paternal, or however it's called, energy, right? So you're becoming your own mother, you're becoming your own father in the same person. And I was doing certain meditation chants, so I was balancing, I was listening to one that is like Om Nama Shakti Shivaya, which is that balancing of the inner masculine and inner feminine. So the energy that also kept coming out was Four of Swords, which is resting after being heartbroken, right? Even if it's about a job, if it's about something else that's not relationships. I'm sorry. There's a lot of clearing that has to be done, and a lot of expression that needs to be vocalized. You're, walking or contemplating, walking away from something that is not emotionally fulfilling, and it's pushing you into this meditation mode, right? The Four of Swords, where you have to lay on these swords. You have to take the time to analyze and contemplate where the trauma was triggered, where certain things have arisen to cause problems, and why, and how could you better mother or father yourself in these next steps is also something that you are putting solely on yourself. Like, you do not seek or you will not seek external validation anymore from this reading on. I had to do a lot of cleansing of the space. I do have new cleansing tools, so if you don't mind, I will just cleanse your space a little bit, because we need to release these dense energies. And my mom just started mixing. She's preparing something sweet. But yeah, we are using the Sunday lower electricity time, right? So we are conserving energy here. Capricorn is what we're doing, but we are grinding up. We are grinding up our past and pulverizing it, because there's no other way than to destroy the whole past self. So, Capricorn, you have become what many people feared you would become. This unstoppable force that is self-governed. You don't need nobody, actually, because you became the fire, or you must rise to meet yourself in these next steps. Because you are transmuting, right? Underneath even these cards is the Four of Swords. So you are tapping into a different energy here. You're tapping into the calmness of the other side. This is you when everything checks, right? So there's a lot of disturbance now. I started filming before my mom started mixing, and I knew that she was going to mix. She said she was going to mix. So if this is annoying you, I'm sorry, Miaugo. Shout out to my bestie. You know, it's always these interferences at the right time, because it triggers something in you that you have to analyze, that you have to contemplate, that you have to meditate on and breathe through. And there's a lot of cleansing that needs to be done, because I decided that I'm going to use this white and purple sage, and it also has wild rosemary. So those plants could be significant in your next steps, especially wild rosemary, because I'm getting this is you, right? You're always in the energy of wild rosemary, where you are super protective of everything around you, everyone around you. And you also have this wild electricity when it comes to you. I was pulled to use aquamarine to charge, so you could be tuning into the energy of Atlantis, or, you know, mermaids, or singing, and a lot of throat expression through love is what was always your priority in life. But also I picked the Storm Dragon, my Peter seat, and it's also about being kind of molded through the storms, where it's metamorphed eagle's eye, right? So you have gone through a major transformation, and you might still be going through it, Capricorn, because there's this dire need to take a step back into yourself. And these cards keep falling out, but for a reason. So we have the Ace of Swords and the Sun, but a few cards fell on this, like, just, I didn't grab them. So they have to show again. It's the Four of Swords, of course. The Eight of Pentacles, which is, you know, you crafting your craft. You expressing is also crafting your craft. It's also creating and manifesting your future. So be really mindful of the things that you speak out loud. It's like everything that is spoken is also instantly internalized because of your huge heart. And your feminine energy is very potent. Yeah, I didn't even look, but okay, let's go one by one. Eight of Cups shows up again. Three of Pentacles, which is you contemplating, pretty much talking to the moon, talking to your divine feminine inside, like, is this really something that I need? to be collaborating with these people. And then the feminine energy comes in with the moon and the Empress. And it doesn't matter of your gender, you are somebody that, even if you work in a field where it's more females than males doing it, you are, this is smoking up a lot. We need a lot of this smoke to cleanse the air. So even if you're working in environments that are female dominated, you are you have these secrets, right? The moon comes out with this Piscean energy and Cancerian energy, and the Empress with the Taurian energy, which is, you know, different archetypes of mothers pretty much. So you are the mother and the father of your life, right? So it's not hard for you to be immersed in different emotions, and it's not hard for you to reign a whole empire, right? The moon and the Empress. But this is like 3 different layers of you, where, not enough mixing, huh? Where this is your 3D self, right? You need to kind of get back into your ways of taking care of yourself and focus on the things that you like doing, like turning hobbies. It's like craftsmanship energy, right? You're creating something with your hands. You're, you know, creating new life as you do art, as you sing, as you know, cook, as you reinvest into your own healing, because the 4 of Swords is also healing. And, you know, it may feel, the energy, it's kind of, I'm in a coffin and I'm ready to die, right? But you're only ready to kill a part of yourself, to end that emotional baggage of needing to collaborate. You're walking away from everything that's not emotionally fulfilling to you, because that brings you to the correct collaborations. But you do need to internalize this. It is your inner compass that always shows how rusty your mind is sometimes. The veil is thinning, but only because of the moon. So the moon showed up now twice, now in a different deck. Once in the pre-shuffle that I didn't film. So the moon is this veil, right? It can hide, right, behind the void of course, where the sun isn't shining on her. So when you're masculine, if you're a female and you're in your masculinity a lot more than femininity, because you don't have the right collaborators, that's putting you into this energy of being constantly in your own waves of emotion and creation from this emotion. So the things that are being created are a direct mirror from the people around you. It's like that saying, right? You are kind of like your closest 5 people, and you, Capricorn, being this feminine sponge, even if you're a male, you are very receptive towards the energy of others. And doesn't matter how much you like helping people and how much you like collaborating people, you now know what to do and where to go, because the sun is shining again. There's you're coming to conclusions, I'm hearing, with the Ace of Swords, and you're rediscovering certain emotions within you that needed assessment, right? With the Page of Cups, you're kind of looking at different offers when it comes to your life, and different pathways of how your life can go, how you want it to go. And, you know, those things were veiled over because it was necessary for you to go in, or it is highly recommended that you do that now, to reestablish your own inner feminine masculine balance, you know, to go through a bullet point or an analyzing or making an Excel spreadsheet of where things went wrong, right? We're at that point now. So just want to check this deck a little bit, because it does have a bit more of these watery vibes. And we're using tarot just because we need to um, talk about some harsher things, right? The tarot is actually the tree of life, so we are going up and down when we're using tarot. We're going up and down the tree of life, and we're discovering different knowledge with it, right? I hate it's in reverse. But yeah, I'll keep it in reverse because it does make sense. So you, Cappies, you are this Queen of Pentacles, right? You are very connected and very nurturing and very loving. Like, you could heal the whole world just with your love. Oh my god, and the Queen of Cups is right behind her. And the Six of Cups and the Four of Wands. Yeah. You have been like this since your childhood. Always loving, always nurturing, always just hands-on with everybody. You are the type of person where it doesn't matter how people treat you. You don't go around hurting people because you know what it means to feel everything. And because you are able to feel everything, you're also in, I was pointed to the little rabbit, you are in this hypersensitivity, right? Because there's a lack of discernment, because there's certain family and childhood trauma that comes in, because we do right behind that have Five of Swords, yeah, and the Knight of Wands, which is this flaky energy of, you know, cunning people. And cunning people, like people that have negative intentions, always make you nervous. They always up your nervous system. You always get these intuition calls, even though you could be this very masculine man, very powerful and headstrong and, you know, fixed in your ways of doing things and not being swayed anyway. You're still very in tune with how you want to treat people and how you want people to be treated. And what's going on is that the people around you are in the energy of Knight of Cups, which, you know, it's very romantic. It can be a very romantic energy, but when they come in with the intention to not grow with you, they can be quite jealous or possessive or intense in processing, right? But they're also the Page of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Strength in reverse. So as we look at these children, these are people that you take care of all the time, right? The people that don't have enough strength, the people that are trying to create something of their own importance. Like, you help elevate and teach people, especially younger generations. It enhances this maternal and fraternal, paternal energy, right? And you love to be around curious people and romantic, loving energies. But mind you, all of these people are also affecting your inner strength, your taming of the beast, because the more you help other people that are way below your level, right? Pages are kind of like children or people that don't have a lot of emotional intelligence yet, right? They don't know how to really temper themselves or do things in a mature way. So even though they are inquisitive and curious and they want to get certain information, the transmission that you're trying to do is being blocked just because they are affecting your strength, which is Leo energy. It's sun energy, right? So you could be affected by the gender that you date, especially with the Knight of Wands and the Five of Swords. That's really just people that want to have and do things that are good for them, or they have, you know, something they can get from you. I'm seeing a dragon-shaped cloud, but it looks more like bones. But you're VIP, Capricorn. I didn't specially wash this coffee cup in a few days. Like, I have a problem with coffee mugs. because I was born to have a dishwasher, not because I'm lazy. I'm like a cat sometimes when it comes to having hands in water. Like, I don't like it. So, you know, here it says luxury and style, but this is actually my mom's cup. But you, Capricorn, you have this VIP essence about you. That's why you always get these people that are curious to take from you, to take knowledge or, you know, ways of loving or certain words that you wanted to hear as a person going through certain things, but you didn't have people around you like you. Like, you are really showing up as the example of how society should be. Shout out to my bestie, that's her energy. Now let's switch it up a little bit. Of course, if you are resonating with this is a collective general message nonetheless. Don't forget to like and comment how it resonates with you. Don't forget to subscribe, join the family so I can tune into your energy. Ooh, interesting. So we got the Direction Guardian with Choose Your Path, and the Mirror Guardian, Take Time to Reflect. So you instantly have guardians next to you, right? Like these stones. They come in rushing. Oh my god, it's a bunny rabbit. And it's spring. This is your internal spring, Capricorn. This is you in the energy of being the GOAT, right? Being the greatest of all time. Like, you're everybody's daddy, right? With a big D. I mean, capital D. Whatever. Okay, I'm blushing. But there's these purple flowers and purple, kind of like, it reminds me of like a chandelier or something. So you could be indulging yourself in little trinkets and odds and ends and flowers, or picking up flowers, bringing them home, putting it in your water. Gardening, I'm also hearing and seeing. You could be benefiting from actually physically grounding yourselves and taking care of a plant rather than a human, because you really need to, you know, get back into yourself, back into your VIP mode, your golden fleece jacket, you know, coat of armor where everything just shines off of you and you're not in this dark, always forgive, never forget energy, right? This is what my shirt says on the back, but it also has a cool tiger that you can't see. But spring, you see your seeds grow, right? You're being graceful in movement and action. You're the Shaolin master. You are the one that brings out all these dragons. You bring out all these storms in people as well. You know, you make people feel less than sometimes, Capricorn, because of your fabulousness and because of your strength and your mission, your passion, your path. Like, whatever you create and whatever you give out from yourself, it's because you love it. Like, I'm getting less of that, you know, love for self energy, more love for others energy. But you're willing to always sacrifice yourself for other people, and that is also honorable, right? It doesn't make you naive, it makes you honorable, because a lot of people aren't able to express their emotions, and you needing to always be the bigger person and trying so many different ways to go about it with certain people, but they're just not on your level. They're pages, they're knights, they're, you know, negative energy that is intrusive in your thoughts more than a helping hand that helps you release certain thought patterns from the past. We have these rusty swords all around you. These are your old ways of thinking. These are your clarity points, right? The sword is your mind being without fear, without abandon. Like, you know, have to have that solar force within you as well as that lunar force. You need to be balanced within your own Empress and Emperor energies, which means your divine masculinity and your divine femininity being balanced. And to balance those, it takes a lot of cleansing, a lot of the energetic cleansing that needs to happen is coming from this part, the lung part. And what might help you is these hand mudras, where you breathe in, holding your index and thumb together, and then for however many breaths you want, you switch fingers to, you know, middle, ring, and pinky finger, and you can notice how you breathe into different centers, into different parts, right? So index finger is more of your upper throat, heart chakra, whereas pinky finger is your lower belly, which will help you relax and transmute these energies, because Capricorn, you're on the go all the time. You're working and you're also distracting yourself with work. So you're also like, you're always go, 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 go. And you're like this AK-47, right? Where you just like, there's a Jesus on a mag and you're just like with everything. And you go through these motions without ever stopping to breathe. You know, and holding it in spaces where they are hurt, and assessing these energies as to how much capacity you have in life to breathe into certain centers. And there's just a lot of decoding that needs to be done within your own meditations that I cannot really, you know, pinpoint it in such a large group of a collective message, which is Sun and Rising in Capricorn. But this is your 10th house. This is where we need to get serious, right? This is the energy where you are hyper-focused in upping your powers. You know your capabilities of intuition, assessment, analyzing, you know, you have a certain way of doing your thing that makes you VIP. So you have to do more of that. You have to stand on your shit. You have to stand on your boundaries and not turn them into walls. You need to set up certain parameters of, you come to me only when I am healed to a point where I can not completely dissolve over your own healing, right? So you're not involving these people in your next chapter just because they're blocking all of your new beginnings. Because in the pre-shuffle that I didn't film, I did 2 rows and a bunch of these cards came out that we already had them, and what came out at the end was the Fool card. So which was like, you know, after the 9 of Wands, after the 4 of Swords, and after the what was it, 9 of Wands, 4 of Swords, horrible cards. I mean, heavy energy, right? Very fighting with a bear. I'm getting a call, but I can't talk. So you are ignoring you're not ignoring people, but you are definitely setting up boundaries as to, for instance, this is your drawing time, or this is your coloring time, or this is your bath time, this is your own, insert your own ritual time, this is your green tea with mango type of situation, right? Where you're like, okay, I constantly need to come from this state of being, because if I take the time which I deserve for myself, I'm able to give without overspilling my soul, right? Without feeling the depletion after I help somebody, without insert here. So you have the power of the praying mantis, and the power of the dragon, and the power of the hyper awareness and hypersensitivity of the rabbit coming up twice till now. So it highlights again that Queen of Pentacles energy, you know, where you are focused on the fact that you are able to create abundance, monetary gain, finances, stability, you know, pay for rent, pay for utilities, treat yourself at the end of the day without these people in your life, right? So you're starting to learn to not take work to home or bring home to work, or you could be just casting certain ramps. I'm seeing those, you know, like in parking lots when you have like these ramps that, you know, lift up, like you're closing out and you have your own work time hours, right? Because as soon as you tap into your sensitivities, you're tapping into yourself, right? And you can clearly see, right? Doesn't matter if your mind is a bit rusty and you're on your path of spiritual attunement, you can see the black cloud that is intrusive into your mind. And you're like, I don't need these clouds. I got these cool swords. Even though they are rusty, I know how to wield them, right? I know how to fight with multiple swords in my hands. And you're like Roronoa Zoro from One Piece. He's my favorite character. He's so hot. So he has his green hair and he has 2 katanas and one in his mouth. And he, like, you know, fucks shit up. So you need to remember, Capricorn, that you have your soul family. Even if they're not directly next to you, you are also a fighter for the light, the fighter for I'm getting weird Zionist jokes now in my head. So, you know, you're hilarious, you're funny, you make the light of situation, you easily forgive. And now that you have put down some ramps to kind of clear the space, I'm getting a lot of, it's warming up, it's really hot, and I'm not, this is just channeling, but your third eye is going to go from exploding from darkness to go exploding from light, right? But this sword in the 4 of Swords that is stuck in your head, it's like as soon as you start processing things, you start, like, you know, putting in the sword in your head to, you know, straighten yourself back up into who you want to be, truly, without abandon. You're transmuting the rust off of the sword. So you, whatever thought comes within you, you hyperanalyze it. You know, not just hyperanalyze it, but it's like your brain is a smelter, right? It's it turns metal into liquid to be reforged, to be reshaped, and that is the capability of your vessel. You're able to reforge people. You're able to help them to a degree where you make such a difference in their lives. Like, I'm seeing a lot of these therapy talks and great support systems that you cast by being in this maternal or fraternal, paternal energy. And you need to understand that you're not alone. You are connected with the all-seeing eye, the sun and the moon, and this is you. You should be flowing and falling in simplicity. You should be in the energy of a seed, right? I'm seeing dandelion flowers going through these transformation processes and being also very significant herbal totem for you, because it also, like the root, it heals cancer cells, it like destroys them, and then like the whole plant is just, right, edible, taste in salads. Slavic people know how good it is with eggs, and like hard-boiled eggs and cooked potatoes in salad. It's just chef's kiss, right? And that's you. You are the dandelion, but you need to transform from, you know, growing up kind of like a weed, you know, just in an environment where you're easily stepped on, right? And then you bloom and people notice you, and you're this sunshine just showing your gold, right? And then things happen where, you know, your internal sunshine has to go through these transformations, through these instances in your life. And what happens is your head, it transforms, right? The dandelion closes back like up and starts creating seeds. These are your crown seeds. These are your thoughts. These are your ideas, your creativities, right? Your writing, your everything that goes on in your head is very important to, I'm hearing like calm down, but you go into this compression state where you start growing seeds, and once you will open back up, you will get to this, you know, once the wind blows and the universe shows you the path on which to go, because you did take time to reset, right? Your whole mind. You're going to be able to flow in this simplicity as a feather, as a dandelion seed trying to find a different, better place to plant, right? So as you are igniting your passions and as you are graceful in your movement and in action, right? The Shaolin master comes in with this message of the way you move, the way you should or you already do, like mix different exercises, like you're maybe stretching or doing light exercising, or maybe some calisthenics, or going today for a run, tomorrow we're doing nothing, the next day we're doing a light stretch. You're just flowing through your body to find yourself back where you left yourself in the past, and you're regaining this inner power where you understand that you're a VIP. Like you're at home just sipping on your coffee, just like looking out the window, antennas on, and just observing. Like you could be people watching, or you could be just disassociating in public or something like that, because now I'm getting that Capricorn rising energy where you kind of come in like a vampire and you just stand there being awkward. But it's you actually going through a lot of motions, and you may be an enjoyer of people watching because you are a great analyzer of the movement of and potentially gracefulness of people around you, right? You are observing your environment. You might really enjoy traveling, where you could just not feel like the odd one out. I'm getting that energy where in your hometown you feel the most alone, but as soon as you go somewhere else, you instantly meet your soul family. And that could also be something that you have been contemplating on doing, or maybe it's just moving in your own, from your own heart space, from your own, you know, gracefulness, grace, what the fuck, from your own grace of the sleeping dragon, right? Because you have this immense power within you. You're a very important person. Cheers to that, Capricorn. You were handpicked by God, okay? Even if you don't believe in that stuff, or you might have a bit more stern visions on how things work, it doesn't matter, Capricorn. If you're watching this, you are also smelting a bunch of these swords that have been cast in your back, right? Because your great assessment of people's intention is also what brought you to this point, and where God wants to say directly to you, this was one of your last tests before your highest greatness. He wants to tell you a bunch of other stuff as well, but you need to connect personally through your own signs and symbols and start calibrating yourself to translating them. So the universe is asking you to tap into your Holy Spirit and your energy of joy. because the childhood wounding from that Six of Cups and Four of Wands with the Knight of Wands and the Five of Swords we had is the energy where you're running from it, but it keeps catching up to you. Whereas if you transmute the energy of the Knight of Wands, you also don't get these same flaky people in that are keeping you stuck and keeping you in these heavy weird emotions where I feel like I need a heavy double tap set of music just blasting in my face to cleanse my soul. Like I'm getting heavy depressive states from time to time where, you know, these people have tried you one too many times, and I heard that this is the last time. This is the last time, but you must go within. You must transmute these dark thoughts into light-bringing energy, which is you closing out a cycle. But first things first, we have the inner child with innocence coming out. So, you know, what we said, it's your innocence, not naivety, right? It's your immense heart and capability of loving that has brought you here. And now that you come back into your body by understanding your breath and how it's being blocked and how it's not being used to clear this out, it's like you're going to be just done with yourself being stuck in these harsh mental environments because something is clicking in you, Capricorn. You are this 8-angled, faceted, good fortune mirror of abundance. And that's something that people really like to attack when it comes to you, right, Cappies? You're this daddy of making money, like you have this sugar mama, sugar daddy vibe that is constantly within you. You're so VIP because of your style. Like nobody has that sense of quirkiness, and you can relate to so many different groups, but then again, because of your sponginess of taking in all the emotions and not cleansing them out properly, you get this tired and heavy heart. And you know, the heart is the mid-center, right? It's where everything should come from, either from you or the people you're dealing with, right? Now my throat is closing up, and it's because there's certain things that haven't been expressed in childhood that still need to be outlived through different ways of living, right? So you might be battling with your sacral chakra energy, because I'm seeing like pee-pee shaped clouds now. I need to take a picture. I'm showing this to Miago. So, you know, don't care about the pee-pees and the hoo-has, because that is where you lose the most of yourself. That is where you lose the most credibility with your own spiritual totems. This is where your eyes being focused into something material rather than something spiritual that is trying to, I don't know, birds flying next to you. It's the art of noticing with you, Capricorn, and you notice every little detail, because it's, I don't know, because I don't know much about Capricorn, because it is kind of squaring certain aspects, but you know, we all need Capricorns in our lives. Like, as an Aries with a bunch of fire and air, like, I need me that earth to be like, ayo, but did you think about this? And I'm like, good point, Mialgo. Good point, bestie. You know, and as the people need you, Capricorn, in your life, so do you need certain energies that will help you heal your heart. But there's a different, there's a there's a transmutation that has to happen to um, get all these disturbances of frequencies out of your system. It's a heavy thing. Like, my mom knows that I'm filming, but she's like crushing together something that makes noise, and I know it's not making food. It's probably something that could wait for later, but it's this sense of, doesn't matter how sensitive you are to other people's emotions, they're never sensitive enough back towards yours because of the way you are and the way you present yourself. You are this unmovable mountain goat, right? You're the mountain and the goat. You have been up and down, in and out of that mountain. And you know what mountains are in spirituality. They are one of the biggest obstacles and hardest things to climb, especially if, you know, you're pushing up a big rock with you. So whatever you've been pushing with you, there's not enough passion that could go along with it, because what happens is just you being somebody's mother, which instantly makes them a child, and that's something people cannot really take upon themselves, right? And it's really hard to help certain people, but this is a point in time within you where you must look back with a loving heart and let go for the greater good of your future, Capricorn. Because even though you are the best at what you do, there will always be people who are jealous of the way you are, the way you think, the way you process things. And I'm sending you so much love. My battery is dying, so recharge your batteries. We still have 20%, but let's recharge ourselves before we completely deplete ourselves, right, Capricorn? I'm gonna use the whole incense stick on you guys, because I am not letting you stay behind yourself, ever. And that's a promise I'm willing to sacrifice for you, Capricorns. Because in your future, there's so much abundance, but what you're healing still is your inner child. And, you know, healing the inner child is different with everybody. We all have certain traumatizing events that have piled up. And traumatizing events, what they do is they make us forget, or they make us focus on the positive, so much so that we forget the negative, but the energetic imprint is still in us. So it might take triggers and traumas and things to happen again to reassess what we want, right? And because you're great, like, type A personalities in general, even if you're type B personality where you're a bit more, you know, on the procrastinating level, it's like when you are focused on something that you care about, you put your all in, whatever it is, be it family relationships, work, hobbies, creativity. Just the way you express yourself is, people are jealous, envious, mad that you're better than them. And not just that, they're even mad that you have gone through severe trauma, and they might even know about that, or and a severe event that went down that is now a part of your story that you're still transmuting and working on. My mom is cursing something out. So I'm being constantly distracted, and this is the energy around you, right? I normally don't get so easily distracted. If you watch all of my other readings, it's really easy for me to recollect what I was trying to say. But the wild rosemary is smoking for a long time, which means that to recapture your essence within your vessel, within your light vessel, Capricorn, you're going to need to do extra cleansing by following your intuition. So either it's making a bath and going into the kitchen and picking up random spices and just, you know, putting in the frequency into the water. You could also use that bath water next to a chakra sound bath on a device, and that sound is being directly, you know, integrated by the water. So when you are in it, it's like your body cleanses a lot more. And, you know, be mindful about when you pull out the plug, if you have a tub or whatever, that, you know, all of the negative energy goes into the drain and you are left with only positivity and light and all these good thoughts, right? So we are retraining our brain back to greatness here, Capricorn. This should be a title. I should write it down. So you are on a mission and on a roll to become your best self, right? I already forgot what I wanted to write. And you're getting rid of the frequencies that are affecting your memory capacity and your recalling of events. So you could be dealing with gaslighters throughout your life, or covert narcissists, or just people that see your light and just take, and then you're depleted, and then you're overwhelmed, and then your mind goes on 1,000 kilometers per hour. There's like wasps trying to come in here. There's, you know, cussing on the other side, and your energetic field is being overwhelmed. So you need to protect yourself. I will pray for you, Capricorns. I will keep you in my thoughts. I will send you love and light for all those that have good intentions watching this video. And what's on your side to do is trust it, believe it, and fight only the negative thoughts in your mind and try to counter them with positive thoughts. You know, it's like dressing yourself in, you know, that animal training. You are being your own Caesar Milan, I heard. And you are expanding your wisdom because you are self-healing, right? There's doors that's opening, golden doors that's opening for you, and your crown is ascending because of your ability of self-healing. And it's literally 20 going on 21. So maybe those years were significant for you, where you are now dealing with things that went on between those ages. Or it could also be just, you know, it's like judgment to the world card. So it's really these, and underneath that is healing addictions. So you could be healing a lot of the addictive or obsessive parts within you, right? Because the devil card is, you know, representing Capricorn. So it is these constraints that are keeping you stuck, but you're also the creator of bonds, right? You are kind of like holding these contracts. I'm seeing a bunch of rolled up like scrolls, and you're like, you have them here, which is on your feminine side, and you are this, you know, goat-headed creature that is keeping these scrolls, which is kind of like self-imposed bondage, and you thinking that you have to help everybody, and you just get immersed into their energy, which creates this what feels like unbreakable bond or a soulmate thing, but it's actually karmic connections, karmic bonds, addictions being resurfaced, right? And you are trying to heal from this part. You're trying to step away from people because you have stepped away from yourself being addicted to toxicities, right? We have different toxicities in our lives, and as you are becoming your own balanced mother father figure within yourself, you can kind of see where you went wrong. And yes, it is hard to admit sometimes that we were doing things from our own hurt places, but that doesn't make us unprocessed, right? Because if anything, you are highly processed. You know who you are, Capricorn, and nobody can sway you. Nobody can shift your opinion or make you think something else. Like, you're very discerning and strict when it comes to your ways of thinking, your ways of doing things, and the things that you have learned through your crafts, through your hobbies. You know, you are interconnected with creating, with some sort of feminine lineage being now lifted and unblocked as we speak. You are being able to find now new ways of mothering yourself, nurturing your body, your mind, and your soul, and you're being receptive to, you know, transmuting the rustiness of a lot of people. These swords that have been put around you that were rusty weren't really your swords, right? You are just holding them and kind of having them balanced on your knees as you meditate. So what you do, Capricorn, is you see everything from your gut feeling, because this guy has an eye on the solar plexus. So you have a clear vision and you feel it in your stomach. Like, you have a gut feeling about a bunch of things, and the energy that you transmute outside of your, like, from within towards outside, is very complicated in this card. It has many different colors, but the one that is most important for you is blue and gold in this next season. You could be tuning into Archangel Metatron. He is helping you to transmute this energy, but it's all in your head. It's all playing like a radio, playing like something on loop in your head, because there's a guitar with a little spiral right here. I don't know if that'll focus, but you are the type of person, Capricorn, where you take other people's opinions and comments and you like stab yourself with them. Sorry, that was very depictive. However, the way you transmute other people's energies and then help them is unprecedented. But these rusty swords of other people are not really helping you relax. That's what I'm getting. They're not helping you express your innocence with the inner child. They're not helping you get that abundance, the good fortune, and they're not helping with self-healing, right? They're not helping with expanding wisdom. And you are the type that constantly expands wisdom. You like, I don't know, reading up on news. Oh my God, the Tower and the Emperor and the Ace of Cups. Okay, side quest. You have faced your ego many times, Capricorn, and you resonating with this message. You're not egotistical at all. However, you are very stern in what you believe in, right? You're very protective of lambs of God. You're very protective, and every time something isn't for you, it falls from you, away from you. It separates. It cannot keep up with you, Capricorn, and that's not something that you should be worried about, because you're the greatest of all time. You're the GOAT, bitch. I mean, as me and my besties say, biche. Biche, you are done playing a hurt monster, because you have the power and the ability to raise and destroy towers, and that's ego. Because you are the ever-flowering lotus of self-love, you don't have a problem fixing the Six of Cups energy and being in this Nine of Pentacles energy, and then we have the Nine of Cups, and then we have the Sun, and then we have the Ten of Cups, and it keeps getting better and better and better, because you keep getting better and better. You're transmuting your apathy when it comes to things not working out, because you know that you're the greatest, that you put in all you had, because you always do. And you don't mind standing alone. You don't mind facing the ghosts of the past. You don't mind dealing with bats of the caves, you know, like Batmans with no Batmobiles, willing to pick you up. And you're here to stand your ground and show people what connection truly is about. Taurus energy and Aries and Scorpio energy is coming out. And again, Archangel Metatron is giving you extra energy in this season. Right now, you're getting ideas, you're getting seeds, right? You're the dandelion, herbal spirit here again. But there's ideas, there's creations that need your attention through your intuition being tempered and meditated on and cleansed. But because you've just went through this tower, you know, you have to go through uncovering some things a bit deeper, like where they went wrong, right? It's not that the Capricorns think that they can't go wrong with being themselves, but the type of Capricorn that you are well versed in the fact that you are a self-creator. You don't need help. You can literally build yourself a house with your own hands, but it would be great to have help, right? And sometimes people need to fall away with the strike of a lightning bolt that pretty much you cast. You have a staff, you have awareness, you have structure, and you are overflowing with this energy of milk and honey. Like, that's your energy that people try to steal from you all the time. That's why Archangel Metatron keeps coming in, because he wants to protect you in transmuting these energies and you coming back into your own self-alignment, which is very important to heal your inner child and to heal the parts of your abundance where it has been a bit, you know, cracked and leaking, because there is this self-healing that needs to come through. But just like in your childhood, so it is in your adulthood. Like, you always feel alone, but it's because of your over capability and over self-reliability, that in essence what happens is you do need people a lot more than you let on. And you have been flowing through different people, still not truly being with the right ones, with the right intentions, with the right or same vision even. Like, you could be trying to create a family or a business or an art project or an event or something like that, and you have a great vision, you're a very visual person, but you need to tune into yourself to tweak on some things and reassemble your machinery and put on your goat legs and just start running uphill, right? Because you were meant to get over yourself, right? You were meant to have your crown taken and have it fixed while you were maybe worrying, like, where did my intuition go? It was getting jewel encrusted, okay? Because, you know, we could only get you a crown that's fit for a king or a queen, right? Not a page or a knight. You're not a princess or a knight anymore. You have a bigger task to fulfill here, Capricorn. Let's see. Okay, we will do some grounding energies, not because you're Earth, but because you need grounding. Everybody does. I was planting flowers And that is very nice for me. It's very nice for me. So you could be finding something of your own ways of healing. You could be rediscovering yourself. And you want to stop falling apart for other people as well, Capricorn. Yeah, because you're going towards prosperity. My lordy lord. But we do have, well, what fell on the floor. No spiritual meaning behind it. It just fell towards my cleansing stick, right? The one with the wild rosemary. And the cards that fell are Go with the Flow and Relief. This is where you're going. You're going to the infinite flower fields and waters of your own immersion, right? This lady, sorry, I'm shaking. I had a bit too much coffee today. It's a master number, first of all, and it's a feminine number. And I think she's wearing rose quartz on her heart. And I'm not sure, is this mint? Let's check it out. Because these cards do have important messages when it comes to plants, like herbal spirits and mineral spirits. My book is falling apart. Oh, it's rhodonite and lemon balm. So, lemon balm makes things easier to bear, eases an overwhelming sense of responsibility, and lightens a too serious mood. Perfect for you, Capricorns. Lemon balm scent, or the plant, having it at home, having a herbal tea with lemon balm will really help you get rid of these overwhelming senses that you keep having. And rhodonite aids in restoration, and recovery. You've been carrying a heavy load for too long now. The overwhelming sense of responsibility has grown all out of proportion to the reality of the situation. Relief is at hand. All you have to do, see, we are skipping steps here. We're skipping words. Capricorn, you want to be ahead, but you need to rein yourself back in. Somebody needs to like tie you to your horns and just like, stay home. Have some relief. Relax. Like on purpose, like by force. Relaxing by force. So yeah, all you have to do is reach out and grasp it. Grasp the relief, Capricorn. But in order to do that, you must release what you are clutching. Let it go. You don't need to carry it anymore. And it says, I have carried the burden for too... Now I'm seeing words that aren't there. Okay. I have carried the burden for long enough. It is time to let it go. I release the burden to the divine and accept the relief that comes as I let go. I let myself rest. So, as you surrender to your own flow, to your own meditations, to your own ways of coming back into yourself, Capricorn, you are being relieved, right? Your heart is, it's like it's releasing smoke, it's even like leaking black stuff. Like you could imagine like breathing in white light and exhaling out the grays and the murky browns and the dark blacks. And that could be a good cleansing ritual for you to, just, get that out of your system. Because what you're going towards is prosperity. This guy, it's a girl or a guy with really long hair. This person is observing the 3 flying ducks. And it's flowing on the river that is glimmering. The sun is shining behind you in the relief card, and you are abandoning a broken castle. You weren't the king or the queen in these people's lives, or the emperor or the empress. You weren't, not that you weren't willing to reign over, the whole family lineage. It was you didn't fit, and the crown that they offered you actually closed you back down. It started making you express yourself in the ways that you do not want to be expressing yourself. And mind you, you're going with the flow on this river, which is your emotion. It is your heart. You're moving towards prosperity and heart healing. Right? That's what we're doing here, Cappies. Last but not least, you are on the bridge towards understanding. As I picked the card up, it was in reverse, but I like to look at oracles upright because I want to understand and see, right? So you're turning things on their head to reassess them upside down. But you're not turning yourself in these hangman positions where you know, have to go through another awakening. No, you have gone through your last shit just now. And what's next is heart healing, great abundance, healing the inner child, through self-reflecting, and going with the flow of your righteousness. Because people cannot keep up with you, and they're starting to compete with you because they cannot compare to you. And that's about it. Drop mic, right? We don't have to go too far inside because you're loyal like a dog. Even more, like you're loyal, right? To a fault. You're loyal for as long as they are. But there's different types of loyalty, right? There's different types of coming together with people, and different types of loyalty that comes with it. So you're reassessing your relationships, your friendships, your family lineages. You're doing a bunch of introspection. Let's see, which animal totems are guiding you through this next step of the flow, going with the flow. Time for beginner mind, my lordy lord. Okay, yeah, of course, Capricorn. Life is speeding up, the antelope spirit. But first things first, time for beginner mind with the porcupine spirit. You could be one of those Cappies where you're kind of prickly towards others, or you like to kind of, you know, point out certain things that people don't see because they're so transparent to you. And well, this porcupine kind of is very embellished with different charms and protective colors, and you're just super protected. It's like your master guides are coming in through this card trying to tell you that you've been prickly for a reason, right? Because the porcupine doesn't have to release these you don't have to release your spiky thingies, right? Common spiky thingies if you came so far. Yeah, you have the brown bear spirit, take time out, pig spirit, use your mind wisely, and white raven spirit, trust in the magic. And now we have 6 seconds because something doesn't want you to hear this message. Love you, bye.